By now, you guys have probably figured out that my family is like 99% of the time oblivious to anything normal. Like we're just oblivious to normalcy. It's the thing. It even happens with me. We just don't think of things like other people. This should validate my point. So my father's in his 70s right now, right? He just discovered as of last year that conditioner is not made to clean your hair. Reading is hard, yo. Reading is hard for everybody.
When someone meets my family, they inevitably ask, "How are you, you?" Why is that, you ask? Have I got a story for you?
Now, speaking of hair stuff, I have had some crazy shit happen to me with my hair. Like this is the longest it's ever been. This is pretty crazy for me in and of itself. But I'm trying to grow it out so I can donate it because, well, to be honest with you, it's change your hair, change your life. When me and my ex broke up, we both did change your hair, change your life. But I didn't realize it until way later. She did it immediately. She dyed her hair, and she looked fucking gorgeous. And I looked like this. This is not... I don't know what this is doing for anybody, but I'll be happy when I can donate it. I didn't realize I was doing change your hair, change your life myself. I was having a conversation with Crazy Bacon and his lady, and you know her as Katie Lynn. I can say that now. We have a screen name for her. Yes, that works. It's easier than and his lady. Crazy Bacon and Katie Lynn were having this conversation, and we were talking about change your hair, change your life, as things girls do. And I was like, wait a minute, y'all. Did I do change your hair, change your life just in the laziest way possible? And the both of them were like, huh, yes, you did. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna do something nice with it. But my hair hasn't always been this crazy, except for one time. One time my hair was way crazier than this. And that's because one of my friends at school, we were in elementary school, he took the Play-Doh and he went, whoop, and he smushed it onto the top of my head. And then he went all like, and gooped it up. And it was stuck in my hair. I don't know if any of you have ever had Play-Doh in your hair, but it's really sticky and gross. And I went home that day, and I still had it in my hair because you can't really pull it out without like tugging out tufts of fur. So no, you don't pull it out. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to wash it because Play-Doh gets weird when it's wet. But instead, when I walked home, I was like, all right, Mom, I'm leaving, bye. I'm going to go down the street to my best friend's growing up house who lived down the street. I was like, all right, I'm going by. And she was like, no, what the hell happened to your hair? And I was like, there's Play-Doh in it. It's fine. When I shower, it'll come out, I'm sure. And Mom was like, no, you're not going anywhere. So my mother, she did the thing where she gets out the stool and you sit in it, and she gets out the a curtain that she uses as a bib, as if you were in the actual barbershop. And my mother, instead of like getting rid of all of the stuff that was in my hair or washing it, my mother's method of getting the Play-Doh out of my hair was to specifically cut the hair it was attached to. But then she didn't like fix it. It was just, she cut the Play-Doh that was in my hair, so I had a whole bunch of weird little bald spots for a while. And that's kind of how my family solves problems. Like, if they see a problem's happening, they look at that problem, they accept, they don't process how to fix it in the future. They only process how to get rid of it this very second. Which, you know, really doesn't help if you want to get to the root of something. You want to go to the root and get rid of it so it doesn't happen again. Instead, my mom was just like, let me chop off the hair that's specifically attached to the Play-Doh, which made me look absolutely fucking ridiculous. And as a kid, you don't care about that kind of thing. But if it were my kid, like if I were in the position of authority, I would have been like, the fuck? That ain't happening. No, we gotta fix this shit. But nah, that's how my family solves problems. If it's right there and they can fix it, bam, out of the way. It doesn't matter if it comes back or, you know, the kid's got a whole bunch of bald spots. Like they have some weird disease, the hair falling out and stuff. I actually have another weird story with haircuts. Okay, so I've been going to the same barbershop since I was like, I don't know, since I was like 14. And I still go to the same barbershop. And now the person that I always get my hair cut by is the head of the barbershop because the original owner retired, which is super cool. And it's like a really old-fashioned Italian barbershop. When you walk in there, they have like on the TV, there's usually like Rocky or something playing, and when it gets to the good parts, everybody stops in the whole place. They watch. They're men. Rocky or Rambo's on. No, you pay attention to that shit. Indiana Jones. And actually, Indiana Jones had a special meaning in my barbershop because the first time we were like, let's do something different. normally my hair is real short like a buzz cut, but there's a little bit more in the front so you can flip it up. My hair's basically been, I've basically been using that hairstyle for like 12, 15 years maybe. When we started that, the first time we said we were going to do something new, as my barber was cutting my hair, he whistled the theme song to Indiana Jones, and I thought it was the most amazing fucking thing in the world. But one of the very few times I did not go to that barber, we were getting the favor trial from New Paltz, because remember, favor trial was in New Paltz before I did. That's how we knew about it. And on the way, there was a barbershop. Mom was like, you need to get your hair cut. Like, this is the longest my hair has ever been, because my family has always bitched about it not being perfect. It's not great. You gotta go get the haircut. It can't be long. You can't do that. You're a boy. Blah 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 blah. So when I changed my hair, changed my life. Naturally, it just became long. That's really all I had to do, was to be like, you shut the fuck up. I'm gonna do what I want. And here it is. It's crazy, but whatever. It'll be fine if I can donate it to someone else. And I keep offering to give it to my uncle, the one who threw the mitt up in the air and caught the ball and then caught the mitt on his hand, but because he's bald. But he's like, no, I think that's too much hair for me. And I'm like, yeah, probably. I don't know if it would work for you. But anyway, we stopped for a haircut I think it was on the way back from getting my sister. And we're at this barbershop, and there's a young girl cutting my hair. And when she's done, you know when you like have a kid sit in the chair? The parents always come over and they like inspect the haircut to make sure everything's okay. Well, what happened this time was when my mom came over to inspect the haircut, she realized that my ear was bleeding. The girl had missed my hair, and she actually cut like a little piece of my ear, and I was bleeding. My mom was like, he's bleeding. Aren't you going to do something about it? And I'll never forget this. This hairstylist's reaction was, she goes, and she put her spitty fingers on my ear. And like, my family's crazy, but I would never do that to someone else. Like, and put it in like an open wound. Like, no, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you've been. And I remember as I saw her later, I was like, what do you... I'm watching in the mirror. And she put them on my ear. And I just remember looking like... And I looked to my mom in the mirror for reassurance. Like, did that just happen? Was that a thing that just happened? And my mom was also like, did that just happen? Was that a thing that just happened? And so we never went back there again. That was a very weird haircutting experience. And I still to this day, I'm like, why is that the first thing that you thought of? To lick, and obviously there's like healing properties in your saliva. You can't form scabs in your mouth. The saliva helps it. But your own saliva. I would never think of licking someone else's open wounds, or even just like spitting on them. Like, no, that's weird. Why was that this girl's first reaction? Why? And why did it have to happen to me? Why? Guys, I have a secret that I've kept from you all these years. I have a side job. Look at my pimp coat. I hang out with the hoes on the weekend. I really do. God, did that coat smell. No, but so I own a pimp coat because that was fucking hilarious. My father gave me this huge packet of old clothing. And in this thing of old clothing, this is a pimp coat. My mom was like, no, you can't. And I'm like, yes, this one I'm keeping. I'm keeping the pimp coat. And I really want I need to get a hat. And I also need to get a pimp cane. I'm thinking of starting maybe like a GoFundMe for a pimp cane so I can complete the ensemble, because if you have a pimp coat, you need the accessories to go with it. You really do. The final stories, I may have touched on these before, but I have had terrible experiences dealing with people and my mouth. I had braces for years, like all of high school, and I know that's not like as bad as it can be. I know someone who's had a lot worse experiences with braces. I have a friend who had braces on for at least 10 years, and I am so sorry for her. But the orthodontist in general is just not something that I liked. My orthodontist was a fucking dick. I hated him. he just thought he was better than everybody else. And I've definitely told you this before, but I hated him. And I just hated, he pulled me aside one day, and because I hated having the braces. I did not want them. I did not volunteer. Don't listen to my mother. My mother will tell people that I volunteered for braces. Who the fuck volunteers for braces? And I know at least one or two of you are going to be like, I did. My first cheating ex, the girl I was dating at the time that I had them, also volunteered for braces, and she only needed them on for like 2 weeks. I was like, what is wrong with you? In retrospect, I should have seen like that as like a red flag. Haha! Because no, you don't volunteer for braces, okay? No, that's not a thing people do. I hated this guy so much, and I just didn't want to have the braces, and I hate everything about them. One time he pulled me aside and he was like, you need to know, if your teeth are really bad, no one will ever hire you and girls will never look at you. And in that moment, I was so furious. Like, that's what you want to tell kids. Like, that's how badly you want this money. To basically torture a child while their teeth are rearranged in their skull. That's how badly you want this money. That you're telling them that they'll never be anything without the teeth, without nice teeth. Like, no, fuck you. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on, you greedy fucking bitch. And I was so angry sitting in the chair, first of all, that he would tell someone that. That's obviously, like, I was going to say leveling up in life at the time, but, like, becoming an adolescent and, like, at that time in life, that's not what you need to hear. But also, he really thought that he could use women as a shield in that matter. Like, that made me so furious. I almost climbed over the table and, like, beat the living shit out of him. I hated him so much. And I remember, while I was furious about it, my mother being like, no, he's right. And two of them together, I'm so angry. I also just had terrible luck with dentists as well. Well, growing up, I had the greatest dentist ever. We all loved them. Him and his wife were both dentists. And we used to make jokes that basically we were paid to go to the dentist, because if we went to the dentist, our dentist loved us, like me and my sister. And like they would give us comic books and stuff and toys, and it was just a great experience. So like growing up, I had a lot of friends who were terrified of the dentist. I never had that until I got older. I got scared of dentists when I'm older because some dentists suck, and we've tried most of them. We had one dentist that we went to for a while after the two dentists that I grew up with either died or got really sick, too old to do dentistry anymore, which is really sad. But the dentists that we had after that were terrible to my mom. They sucked. And the dentists after that were terrible to me. And that didn't matter. My mom didn't care. This one time, he's working in my mouth, and the hygienist is standing over his shoulder while the dentist is working. And she's like, the tool that you're using, I don't know what part of it that you add to it. She was like saying the bulb in it is old and needs to be changed. And he was like, no, it doesn't need, it's fine. And whatever was in that tool that he was using at that time burst while it was in my mouth. You might be like, oh no, that's gonna mess up your face. No, whatever it was didn't have like an outward, like there was no shrapnel or anything when it burst. When it burst, it let out heat, intense heat, and he actually burned a hole like in my face. He burned a hole in my face. And I was like, ow, what was that? And the hygienist is with him, and she's like, I told you to change it. And he's all, no, it's fine. And like he tried to like get her out of the room, like, no, don't let him know that I did the wrong thing. Sorry, get her out of the room. The hygienist was a lady at that point. And I'm just like, you didn't listen, that's rude. And like, that's something I'm pretty sure, you know, people get in trouble for, but not in this family. And I went home and I was like, oh my face really hurts. And I remember the Banshee had come over like that night, because she was here all the time when we first moved here. Oh my god, get out. She was here all the time, and she was like, you know, Mom's gonna make you go back to that same guy. And I'm like, what? And sure enough, I go downstairs and mom's like, so when you want to set up your next appointment? I'm like, I'm not going back to that guy. He literally burned a hole in my face. No, no, no. And I honestly, I have like crazy, I have a really high pain tolerance, which is unusual. Apparently, when people are like digging around in your teeth, normal people don't have a pain tolerance like that. But like, I'll be bleeding all over the place. They'll be like, basically, I guess poking dentin, because that's the like the sensitive part with all the nerves. And I'll just be like, okay, okay. And even I've had dentists and oral surgeons when I had to have they basically reset my face for braces. That's just basically reset my face. The oral surgeon that was working on it was like, do you feel any of that? And I'm like, uh-huh. And he's just like, oh, you know, I expected you to be like, ow, or, you know, like visibly move. And I was little at the time, not that little, probably like just barely turning a teenager. He was like, interesting. It doesn't bother me. But when the dentist in the future blew up whatever that was and it burned a hole in my face, oh, I fucking felt that shit. I felt that. I'm just like, but when the dentist was bad for you, why did we change? Dentist literally burned a hole in my face. No, we can keep coming back to him. No, we can't. No.
Hey there, guys and gals. Thanks so much for watching, as always. If you click the link on the left, you'll be taken to the previous episode. If you click the link on the right, you'll be taken to the playlist, where you can watch them all.
I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. Being absolutely awful with women runs in the family.